According to Aztec myth, the region we call the Yucatan is an ancient battleground where the human followers of Totec, the Guardian of Light, once waged a catastrophic war against the demonic forces of Zolot, the Keeper of Darkness. It is written that Zolot called upon the power of an artifact known as the Mirror of Smoke to summon forth a horde of unspeakable horrors from the abyss. Totec's warriors were slaughtered in the battle that followed, but Totec himself survived. He found a way to turn the mirror's power back against the evil god. Zolot was imprisoned within the mirror, and the descendants of Totec went on to forge a mighty empire that lasted until the arrival of the conquistadors. As for what happened to the Mirror of Smoke, the ancient texts are vague. Some say it was hidden in a secret place, that the mirror was lost forever. But if there's one thing I've learned, it's that nothing is lost forever. And here it is. After weeks of hiking through the treacherous Central American jungle, I finally found the Mirror of Smoke. It isn't much to look at, but that's something else I've learned. Appearances can be deceiving. Apparently these guys know it too. Meet Vasco, the local warlord. Vasco's been after the mirror for years, but he couldn't find it. Not without my help, anyway. I guess Vasco doesn't read much either. He doesn't seem to know about the curse. Or maybe he just doesn't believe it.
Solo, face me!
You are not worthy, Totec.
Have you forgotten the last time we met in battle?
A new day is dawned, and soon, night will fall on this world for the last time.
You know not the darkness you have unleashed. Zolot will drown this world in blood.
No need to be dramatic. Surely there's a way to set this right.
Zolot must be imprisoned within the mirror and return to this place before the light of dawn. It is the only way to stop him. Stand back. This is no job for a woman.
Perhaps you should stand back. Unless you want to singe that pretty skirt of yours. Step away from that door, or this bomb is going to hurt more than your pride. This is my kind of magic. Just put it down and get out of the way.
Hey everybody, here to you, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Gaming. In today's video, we'll be playing it through Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. A very different kind of Tomb Raider game, but this one is just as awesome. So, this is a Tomb Raider game that was really built more for multiplayer rather than single player. It's kind of more of an arcade-style game, and might not be something that's for everybody, but this is a really great game that I absolutely love. In case you're going to tell, I'm a big Tomb Raider fan. So, we'll be going over this way, and we're really introduced to the more different style of combat in this game. So, as we mentioned earlier, this is a more of an arcade-style experience. In fact, this game doesn't even have a physical release. This game is only available on Xbox 360 Live, PlayStation 3 now, excuse me. It's also available on Steam, if I remember correctly, so there's plenty of options if you want to play it on your own time. Unfortunately, this game isn't currently available on a Nintendo system, although I'm really hoping that changes soon, because this game really is perfect for a Nintendo Switch. If you want to play this on your own time, I personally recommend either the Xbox or the Steam version for accessibility reasons. Now, the Steam version is probably great for a lot of people, but like me, there are probably going to be a lot of people out there who don't really have that great gaming computers. So if you're more of a console gamer, I prefer the Xbox version because this is backwards compatible with on the Xbox One, so you can also play there if you want.
2,000 years in this prison. Now I will bathe in your blood.
If you continue to pursue Zolot, he will kill you like the rest.
Well, I'll just have to take my chances.
You're being foolish. If you must continue, take this for your journey. It was forged by the gods and holds great power.
A bit old-fashioned, but I'm sure I can find some use for it.
I wish you good fortune.
We get a stick! Alright, so now we're getting to the combat of this game. So, you can throw a staff at these enemies, but I'm going to be switching back to the dual pistols because because I personally like this weapon better. I have the combat difficulty set to easy in this video for the sake of this recording session. I could probably have it set higher, admittedly, but I don't want to have too much trouble recording this because the 12 Days of Gaming is really more of a demonstration than a Let's Play. So there's some bombs over there we can blow those enemies up with and go over this way. So Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light came out at a kind of a weird time in the Tomb Raider history. This came out a couple years after the Tomb Raider trilogy had finished with the release of Tomb Raider Underworld in 2008. This game came out 2 years later. This game also came out shortly before Tomb Raider 2013 was announced. That game, if I remember correctly, was delayed into 2013. It was supposed to be a 2012 game, but it got delayed into 2013. So this was released at a bit of an awkward time where the Tomb Raider series was kind of changing its own identity, where, if that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't. Alright, so it's good to hear that guy. I gotta say, I really love the combat system in this game. How the combat works is that you move with the left thumbstick and you aim your weapon with the right thumbstick. That just works really well, and I think that's the perfect way to translate the Tomb Raider combat to an isometric game style like this. Watch out for those spiky things, because they are pure evil. Anything that wants to hurt the waifu is an enemy of mine. They shall be destroyed. Alright, so we can use the grappling hook, which returns from the Tomb Raider trilogy, which I greatly appreciate because those are my favorite games in the series. We almost fell off right there, but luckily we didn't. Now, this may not look much when you're watching this video, admittedly, because the thing with the Lara Croft spin-off games is that they don't really look that impressive when you're watching them. This is really more of a kind of game that's best experienced when you're playing it for yourself. Like, for example, I wasn't that into the Lara Croft spin-off series until I played a demo of the sequel to this game, Temple of Osiris, when I played a demo of this on the PlayStation 4. I believe that demo's at GameStop, if I remember correctly. I eventually got Temple of Osiris on my PC, and it's a pretty good game, pretty great game. I haven't beaten it in my own time though, because it doesn't run that well on my computer. I would prefer a console version, which is the big reason why I'm hoping these games do eventually come to Switch at some point. The health packs are there if you need them. We haven't really taken a whole lot of damage, so we don't need them right now. But we can move these around to activate a door. That's always exciting. What's more awesome than a door? The escalator. That was a lame joke. That wasn't even a joke, that was stupid. Anyway, let's destroy these guys. And one thing that I gotta say about this is that I really like how this game kind of reuses sound effects and things like that from the older Tomb Raider games. Like I said, this game came out a couple years before the reboot series did, so we weren't really used to that style of Tomb Raider quite yet. This is not the way I want to go. We want to go up here. Also, there's a roll button in this game, which is also really cool. Aim this stick over here. This little golden thingy will tell you where you're shooting at. And we can jump over here and collect the Red Skull. Oh, Captain America would be certainly disappointed. But we don't need to please Captain America. Lara Croft could totally kick Captain America's butt. Can I get out of this menu? There we go. Alrighty then. So one thing I want to say right now is that I've said before that I am currently planning another Tomb Raider Let's Play. I'm going to straight up confirm right now, this is not the one that I was talking about at the end of the Tomb Raider trilogy. I'm not going to say what game I'm planning next for the series, but I will say this video is kind of being recorded as a way to test the waters of how well I could commentate over a game like this, because this is very different from any game that I've ever Let's Played before, and I would like to know if this is something that could match my commentary style. So far, so good, at least from my point of view. I don't know how you guys feel about this quite yet, but I'm really enjoying this game. This is a really fun Tomb Raider series. It's a bit different from the main series, and personally speaking, I think I like this a little more than the reboot games, to be completely honest. Get away from that. I didn't think that would work. I accidentally pressed the Y button by accident. Alright, let's try it again. That brings a smile to my face. What was I saying? Personally speaking, I think I prefer the style over the reboot series. Now, 2013, Rise and Shadow, there are great games, but personally speaking, I don't think they're great Tomb Raider games, if that makes any sense. They're a bit too cinematic for my taste, and it gets to a point sometimes where it can be a little hard to even tell when you're in control of Lara again. Now, I personally prefer this style because it seems like the closest the modern games have gotten to a more traditional Tomb Raider experience. Alright, there's a reward challenge over here if we jump across these platforms. Let's do this. Come on, come on. Ah, Dolly missed. I did it. Yay. Alright, so there's another grappling ring over there. And we can wall run a la Tomb Raider Anniversary. Anything that reminds me of that game is awesome. Anything that reminds me of the Tomb Raider trilogy in general just makes me happy.
You have to be kidding me.
And I gotta say, this is really what Lara should be like. As much as I like the reboot games, what really bothers me about those games is that Lara just doesn't feel right in those games. He feels like a very different character. In the more classic Tomb Raider games, Lara is kind of sassy in a way, like we saw right there. And as great as Lara is in the Tomb Raider reboot series, like I said, she just feels very different compared to her classic games. And the really unfortunate thing is that it seems like in more recent years, Square Enix is just leaning further and further away from classic Lara. Like, there is no reference to any of the classic outfits in the reboot games, at least as far as I'm aware of. Because even when they rebooted it for the Legend trilogy, they still had those outfits referenced in each of those games. But they don't in the reboot games, and I don't know, just something about that really rubs me the wrong way, and it doesn't really help the fact that they didn't acknowledge the series anniversary at all this year, which really bums me out. But enough about that. Let's continue talking about awesome stuff like Guardian of Light. And I don't remember where this needs to go. Do we need to put that anywhere? Whatever, let's just go down here. And I gotta say, for an Xbox Live Arcade game, this game still looks pretty good. Like, a lot of the games that you see on Xbox Live, that you can definitely tell that they were made by smaller studios, and that is also kind of the case for this one as well. You can definitely tell that their budget for making Tomb Raider games was certainly leaning more towards developing the Tomb Raider 2013. But this game still looks really good. I absolutely love the art style in this game, because it still looks like a Tomb Raider game, but it also has a kind of like a shell shading look to it as well. It just looks really cool. Alright, for this we're going to want to miss completely. There we go.
An impressive specimen. You will serve me well.
Don't hold your breath.
Then I will make a robe of that fine, pale skin.
We'll see about that. Oh my word.
I had to be quiet there for the music. Like I said earlier, I am really happy that they were reusing some of the soundtracks from the older Tomb Raider games. They used the Centaur music from Tomb Raider Anniversary. If you know anything about my Tomb Raider opinions, that is one of my favorite songs in the entire series, and it just made me so happy when I saw that the first time. Alrighty then, so the next thing we want to do is we want to climb up this ledge right here and pick up this health upgrade. Ooh, powered up discovered. Fancy. Alright, so I believe we can... What can we do here? What can we do here? I don't remember what to do in this area. This right here is a challenge tomb for those who didn't feel like reading a moment ago. Basically, these are kind of predecessors to a similar concept found in the more recent games where there's a bunch of mini tombs that scattered across the game world for you to find on your own time. You don't have to beat them, but they give you amazing rewards if you go out of your way to go find them and things like that. I'm gonna set a bomb over there and blow it up. I really like that ability right there. It kind of feels like the bomb rune from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Anything that reminds me of that game is automatically awesome in my book. So let's head over here and destroy these jars. Destroy all the pottery. Pottery is a murder nemesis. Alright, so we're not going to be playing it too much further into this game. I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a quick tour of Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. You should definitely check this game out on your own time if you haven't already. These games are really, really good. It may not seem all that great when you're watching it. This really is an experience that you should definitely play on your own time so you can really get just how cool it is. This game does have a demo on Xbox 360 if you want to try it out on your own time. That's definitely the version I'd recommend. I believe the demo is also available if you're playing on Xbox One. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't own an Xbox One and I don't plan on getting one anytime soon. But you should definitely try this out on your own time if you'd like. There's also Tomb Raider and the Temple of Osiris, which is a very similar game as well. So you can definitely check that out if you want. But enough of doing all that. Now need to figure out what I need to do in this area. Isn't that always fun? Ah, I see you the thing. I see the thing, and it is shiny. It wasn't shiny, it was more circular. Okie dokie. What to do next? I see where they're going with this. Man, this is what Tomb Raider is about. Figuring out puzzles within the environment, in between intense combat sections. This is what the reboot games are missing. There have some pretty good combat and puzzles in the more recent games, but they just don't really have that same level of charm that the games like this have. This is what the reboot games are missing, is what I'm trying to say. Ah, no, I pressed the wrong button. No, that is a bad thing to do. Bad. That was bad. Okay, so move that back onto the thing. Hold on, this might take a moment. Okay, I finally got the thing back onto the switch. So let's head over here, watch out for the spiky things of doom and destruction and death. Remember, children, spiky things of doom and destruction and death, always have the right of way. Alright, that is not what I wanted to do. I didn't actually know you could jump on top of that. Alright, so let's move this ball over onto this switch. And let's head over here. Again, be careful with these things because they're jerks. Ah, wait. You hurt the waifu. You must be destroyed. It's also kind of an interesting game to play for the 12 Days of Gaming, because the last two times that we did this series, I played the very first game, and then I played the 2013 reboot, and those are both great games, and I'm very familiar with both of them, but this is one that I'm not quite as familiar with, so it's a pretty interesting experience recording this for the 12 Days of Gaming. So I think we're getting to a pretty good place to call it quits for this video. We're going to go just a little bit further to see just how far we can get in this video. I don't want to go on for too long though, because I don't want this video to go on forever. But I think I have a fairly decent idea of where I'd like to end this video. When you've been Let's Playing for as long as I have, You get a pretty good idea of how long you've been recording without looking at a timer or anything like that. There we go. Now we got on top of the thing. Alright, what to do next? What to do next? Can we jump on top of this? No, we cannot. That didn't work. That didn't work either, and we're almost dead. Oh well, we tried. Alright, back to where we were a moment ago. I died, and that wasn't a very pleasant experience. So let's try this again. Hopefully this time without fail. What do we do here? Can we blow that up? No, we cannot. Very unfortunate. We can't do anything right there. What do we do right here? What do we do right here? Ah, I see. There's a grapple ring up there. Aha, I figured out eventually! Ah! Whew, good thing we don't overreact. I wasn't expecting that. But that's going to be a good place to call quits for this video for the 12 Days of Gaming. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, it's gear to you.
Certainly unexpected.